Hello, today I'm making a miniature upholstered footstool. First, I cut out my template for the top of the stool, which I altered slightly as I went. The final dimensions ended up being 7.2 by 3.2 centimeters. I marked on the template where I wanted each miniature button to go. I chose a duck egg blue fabric with matching seed beads for the buttons. I also used some miniature caster wheels which I bought ages ago and had been saving for a special project like this one. They are super cute and the wheels even spin, which I love. Then I cut out 2 pieces of 2mm cardboard, the same size as my template, and 1 piece out of a thinner card or heavyweight paper. I traced one of the boards onto my foam and cut it with scissors. Next, I transferred the template for the buttons onto the lightweight card by piercing both layers with a pin. Then I glued the template to my foam, making sure I didn't cover any of the holes with glue. Then I wrapped a layer of thin foam over the top as I wasn't happy with the thickness. If you're using a thicker foam, you can skip this step. Then I placed my foam cushion on top of my fabric with the right side facing down. With a small needle and thread, I worked from the back, poking through the pinholes towards the top. I threaded on 1 bead at a time, pulling tightly as I went. Then I covered each pinhole with Yoo-hoo glue to secure it in case the threads came loose. Then I glued on one of the 2mm thick boards to the back. Once dry, I trimmed my fabric and folded and glued the edges, leaving the corners till last. Then I cut a 1cm strip of lightweight card that was long enough to wrap around the edges of the cushion. I covered this in the same fabric. It's important to use thin card for this so it can still bend. I trimmed off any loose threads and secured the back with a layer of PVA glue to stop it from fraying. I did the same to the underside of the cushion and left it to dry. Next, I took my second piece of 2mm board and rounded the corners slightly. Then I covered it in the same fabric. I found the Yoo-hoo glue didn't work very well, so I switched to PVA glue. Once dry, I glued the bottom layer to the top part. Then I wrapped and glued the trim to the sides, making sure the join was at the back so it was less visible. I left that to dry while I worked on the legs, which I made out of repurposed chopsticks. I decided to use the thin end as it was nicely tapered and the perfect size for the caster wheels. If you don't have chopsticks, you could use balsa dowel instead. I made a quick template of the side view to work out how tall I wanted it to be. Then I marked where I needed to cut the chopsticks and trimmed them to size using a small saw. Next, I drilled tiny holes in the ends of the legs to accommodate the wheels, which I glued in place using Yoo-Hoo 2-part epoxy glue. This is very messy and fiddly, but it is the best glue I have found that bonds things strongly. Using the same glue, I glued each leg to the bottom of the footstool and let it to dry. And there we have a beautiful miniature upholstered footstool for your doll's house. I dreamed of making things like this when I was a child, but I didn't have the skills to do them, so it brings me so much joy to be able to create them now. If you enjoyed this too, please like and subscribe for more videos like this one.